Alright, welcome back. This is MDawg. This is another episode of Cozy Dog here. We are level 18. And I want to actually look at our possibility of doing sort of a setup at Belaya here. Oh, it's out of stock. That's interesting. 17's been pretty good lately too, though. We could just go with that. Do we want to hope that it's in stock at Belaya? I mean, it's not the end of the world if we have to travel again. All right, so what I'm talking about is putting together this with Spark 2000, 3.1 line. We could use a leader if there is one that makes sense. Classic leaders. Yeah, this is fine. Right? .2 is close enough. Close enough for sure, so we can just take a chance on getting to Belaya and see if they have... Okay, now let's think about this though. How much feed do we have? 70? I mean, I think that's enough. If we make 70 feed, that's going to take a while. What about with the bait harvesting? Need to be able to make pearl barley to 25%. And as long as we get that, that's enough for this episode, I would say. Or at least the beginning. I'm just saying, like, we don't necessarily... Let's get a little bit more pearl barley. Let's see how much we have in our bag already. We've got 30. Let's just get 10 more. Honestly, I don't mind making a bunch of pearl barley. Alright, let's go to Belaya. Alright, now the moment of truth here. If they have a lure that we're comfortable with using. Okay, they still don't have this one in stock. Actually hard to say. Let's look at ultralight, weekly, and then chub. The 12, the 16, or the 10. Really, it's between the 12 and the 10. Twelve's out of stock. 10's out of stock. Unbelievable. Alright, I'm just going to try the 17. We'll just give it a spin. Alright, the other thing we're setting up for, though, what we really want to do is go 1, 2, and then 3. Put that lure on. We're wanting to go to... Let's see. First of all, let's get a map so that if we want to look at the map, we can. Alright, so this is Belaya. And, P14 is basically here. We're trying to get some roach here. So the obvious bait is, a lot of people using mayfly larva. We want like a really good bite rate. This is where I kind of want like size 10 hooks. To the point that I'm going to look in the store. I don't really see not having 10 as an option. Are you kidding? Everything we want right now is out of stock. That's kind of funny. I mean, it's not unthinkable to go in either direction here. For now, we're just kind of getting, I mean, I'm okay with just getting 2 of them. Let's just do that. So this is one of the baits we could use here, mayfly larva. And we're going to do a 9 clip. Sometimes the rough are also active. Before we get too focused on roach, basically what I'm doing here is just trying to have bottom fishing continuously going so we have a chance to continue to level up our bottom fishing. Alright, so let's see if we have any fish on. Nothing here. And nothing here yet. So once it's daytime, we want to go fish for do a little spin fishing. But it's not daytime yet, so let's don't get ahead of ourselves. We'll put 3 rods in. Alright, so what I'm going to do, first of all, let's dig and get this going here. What I'm going to do is start making ground bait. Yeah, we're at 16.5%, so I'm just going to make it until we level it up a good bit on the feed. So once again, when we're doing this, we're supposed to make ground bait to 30% just using feed. So all the way to 30%, we just keep pushing this button. Alright, we've made a couple here. We're at 19%. Let's check and see if there's anything on the lines. Alright, rough line is here in the middle. Oh, we did catch a rough. Alright, let's throw that back in. And nothing on this line. And nothing on this line. That's because the roach are probably sleeping a little bit. Let's see what's in the cafe, though. Ooh, easy bleak order. Would be crazy not to just do that in the morning, right? I don't know. Maybe not first thing in the morning, but yeah, at some point we'd be crazy not to do it. Okay, let's I mean, until it's time, let's just see if we can catch a couple rough. You know, they at least have a chance to level up our bottom fishing, right? We could catch like a really nice rough, and we'd be good with that. We'd be okay with that. Alright, let's keep making ground bait, keep digging. Eventually we're going to make some more pearl barley, try to level up pearl barley. Alright, there's 22.7. Okay. So, it is, let's see, 4:30 in the morning. We can get a few more things made here before we switch over to other types of fishing. It's overcast anyway. Who knows? I'm going to keep rough bait in a little bit longer as well. We haven't had any lucky points yet in bottom fishing, but we are still making some good ground bait, still digging. 21.2%. Okay. 22.8. I love it. We're getting there slowly but surely. Alright, so this rod, which caught a perch, can just go away because we're going to actually switch that to, we're catching perch, which is fine. Roach, so let's go size 10 pearl barley. See if the roach are still active here. And then on this one we'll do, oh, it's already a roach. We'll do, size 10 mayfly larva. This ought to catch some really nice roach. However, we're also going to look elsewhere for some fun. Just to see how things are going out here. Alright, we're trying to go to 7265 area. Let me see. 72. The other way, right? 7265 area. I don't know. We'll try some retrieval here. 22. We'll start off with 22. Man, 65 is way up here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything seems like it's biting here. Just depends on how far away the fish are biting, because we can only cast it so far. It is still 6 in the morning, to be fair. Might not be the best read, but... slow it down just a teeny bit. So we're at 18 retrieval. Yeah, that's just not as far as a cast as we want to see it. And we may not be able to catch much here, but I thought it was worth an early try just to see if we could slowly start getting our spin fishing up there a little bit. It's going to be a while before we're probably able to go troll Quarry based on the gear we have. And we probably have common roach just hanging out on our feeder back there. A little grayling. Okay. Little perch. Do we have spinning reel? Yeah, okay. Now, the one thing we could do is if we put points in fishing with a spinning rod, then yeah, we'd start getting a little more casting distance. Which, you know, might not be the worst idea, at least a couple points, but we'll see. All right. So remember, this is 3.2 strength We're always just one asp away from misery here. Trying to get it to turn right. Might not be willing to, though. At least we got it to turn right. It bounces off, but we just don't want it spooling us turning left here. Far enough right that I can... Probably ought to just chill here for a minute. It's the price we pay by fishing with like one of the cheapest reels in the game. So we're looking up in the air. You don't want to look down. It increases the chance of the fish getting off with the rod tip pointing down. We want it to be pointed up, and then the fish pulling the rod towards it. I'm not really reeling when the fish is pulling away from me. I'm watching the little spool symbol as we run out of line here. But there's not a whole lot I can do about it. If this fish doesn't get tired at some point, we're not going to be able to get it in. Because of how much he's taken line out, I am going to start walking towards him a little bit. But when you're walking, again, you want to keep that slack. You cannot have it go loose. So you need to be reeling faster than you're walking towards it. So occasionally maybe slow down or walk the other way. We can just stop here for a minute. He's probably not going to be able to spool us by just going straight across, because eventually he runs into that far wall of the rock over there. But if he continues to go upstream, we'll have to do the same thing we did down here, which is to say get ahead of him and then try to force him back the other way. This is a very risky catch. I don't... This isn't really how you want to do it, but... this is why I just don't think, especially for a new player, I just don't think this rod and reel is enough for Belaya. Mostly we're just chilling. I want to keep the line tension in the yellow. I don't want it to be in the green, but I don't want it to be in the red either. I'm keeping my friction brake right where it is for now. As the fish gets a little more tired, I might try increasing my friction brake, like by a point or two. But then when he starts pulling like that, we'll bring it back down. Alright, we need to think about where he is. I mean, we're getting down to towards the end of our spool here. Again, we're just going to have to keep him in front of us. I don't think he can actually spool us, but I also don't think we're anywhere close to having control of this fish. You don't want to put the rod down on the ground unless you absolutely have to. You don't want to move unless you have to. Walking around increases the chance it'll get off. We had to, but we don't want to do it unnecessarily. I so really just want to see what fish this is. I mean, so far we had caught a perch, a grayling, a brown trout. I know the chub have been pretty active here lately. We have such a small line and leader and such a weak reel and flimsy rod that, you know, this isn't necessarily that great of a fish. It's okay, probably. Again, it just depends on what species it is. If it's an asp, it's probably a nothing asp. Anything else other than taimen, anything else you would think, it's, you know, at least going to be a couple kilos or something. But really hard to say. You know, we've almost got control of it right now. I'm going to push this up to 25. And let's just see if he's ready to give up. We're just going to shift reel him straight in until he tells us otherwise. Even if I look down very slowly because we don't want to create slack where he can then turn his head and start swimming the other way. If he's not strong enough to do it himself, then we just keep him coming towards us. Current is working against him. Ooh, he just pulled. I think we may be okay still. Yeah, I mean, he's tired. He is a tired fish right now. Now, when we get him within 10-15 meters, he might get a second wind, but probably not for long. As long as he doesn't bounce off, then we're probably good. Again, best case scenario, it's not an asp, obviously not a taimen. Anything else, it's probably at least decent. Are you kidding me? Did we actually catch an asp out here? That is cruel. Why would an asp be active over there? Good grief. That's so disappointing. These asps, I'm telling you, they're such good fighters. Such good fighters. So fun to catch them. Don't necessarily want to catch them on this setup, though. Alright, this is the bleak spot is like right here. Actually. Those roach have been waiting this long on the feeders. Let's just see. They'll wait a little longer. I'm just curious if this is active right now. I don't remember. Do we have flies yet? I'm so confused because I've been fishing for bleak on my main account lately too. Wait, that's not a bleak. Alright, let's put bloodworm on if we don't get one here. Okay, that is a bleak. And remember, we just need, what, 5 20 grams or more. Something like that. I mean, it's a very basic bleak order. That's not a bleak. That was something monstrous. Let me go check these rods real quick. We might as well pull them out, put them back in, and then come catch a couple more bleak if we can. That was a monstrous fish. What was that? We'll have to watch the VOD, see what the heck that was. That was like some enormous fish coming up to our rod. Okay, so we must have lost a fish off that. There's no way it did not have a fish on. Like, moved up the stream and stuff. It just was so long the fish had gotten away, I guess. It takes a long time for a fish to get away off of a feeder rod, typically. It can happen, but... this is not the typical experience. Let's see. Do we have fly? No. Oh, we do have fly. Yeah, let's see if fly just maybe catches them real quick. That's a nice bleak. That bleak might be worth more than the asp. Not really, but... Alright, that is what it was. So it was like a big roach. That's what tried to get it last time. Wait, we have a nicer... Why are we using this one? We could actually cast out there a little farther, a little more comfortable with the other rod. And probably be able to handle the random roach that comes in and tries to mess us up better. Okay, I want this to go quicker because we need to be making our... we'll try pearl barley again. Did we ever try bloodworm? I think I did. I can't remember. We need to be... Oops. Making our ground bait and our pearl barley and stuff to level stuff up. Alright, there we go. Bloodworm. Like it. This was like my first favorite bleak spot. Alright, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. I guess it'd be nice to get one that, so we can sell that big one for silver. We're catching nice bleak right here. As is typical. No surprise that we're catching nice bleak in this spot. And bloodworm seems to be doing really well, actually. Come on, just give us one more good one here. We'll get out of your way, bleak. A nice slow current as well. Like, we could totally fish with 2. The only problem is we already have 2 feeder rods in the water, so we can only have 3 rods in the water maximum. Seems like it actually does a little better if I don't quite throw it out that far. Another good bleak. All right, let's check that cafe before it expires. So no matter what low-level map you're on, in my opinion, if there's a bleak order and you know where a bleak spot is, if it's an easy bleak order like this especially, like just go do it. Let's see, not fish market, let's go cafe. Yep, bleak, wait, 5, 22 silver, thank you very much. And 39. Yeah, the asp is worth 20, the bleak's worth 6.5. Not that different. Ooh, nice roach. And a little roach. Alright, what was the other spot I was wanting to check? It was like farther south. Oh, 6628. Let's just see if anything's happening there. Just kind of seeing that even though Belaya may not be like on fire right now with spin fishing, pretty much anytime you can find spots, you know? Especially with lures like these spikers, like the one we got. Man, now we're all the way on the other side. So the problem here is we just cannot let that sucker go right. It's got to go left, or we're in trouble. Although current's working against him, it might be okay in most situations, but the only thing I don't like about this spot is I have just too many memories of catching taimen down here. I mean, like, on purpose. And I know they're not always active down here, and they don't love spikers, but what I would get nervous about down here. I mean, really, considering we have no points in spinning rod, we're not casting that bad. This is probably more what we want to do, but I just don't want to hook into something nasty down there. Got that middle of the day doldrums, sort of slow in the middle of the day sometimes. It's okay, we really need to level stuff up anyway. I mean, you know, I like making a little bit of silver here and there, experimenting different spots and fishing here and there, but we also need to use this time, just catch a few roach. Oh, we got points in bottom fishing. That's what we need. Catch a few roach and but mostly level up bait harvesting and ground bait. And then we can, eventually we'll be able to make bream ground bait and then hopefully get a lot of points by catching bream. Okay, sorry I had to step away there for a second, but I am back. We still got a little bit of time left to catch a couple more roach before it's, frankly, I guess rough time again? I don't know. Let's get our third rod out there. And yeah, we can put red worm out with rough. It's not too early to go rough on one at least. And let's start Let's keep leveling up that ground bait for now. Ooh, look at that, 25%. Now, all we got to do is get to 30 for that next sort of step, which we're going to need a little more feed to get to 30, but we have made great strides. Great strides. 25.8. 26. We'll have 21 left. Let's just see where we can get here. Okay, we got to 29, but we only have 6 left. So, in all likelihood, we're going to come up just short here. We've hit so many lucky. 29.4. Oh, what a weird time to have a failure. Feels bad. 26, 29.6. Wow! We hit 30%. Just like that. Okay. That's big time. So that's big time. Yeah, so what that means is we can now make tench ground bait, official, regular, real tench ground bait anytime we want to, which that's a big deal. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is make some pearl barley. That's 23.7. We're just trying to get at least to 25, and probably, honestly, we'll probably get a good bit past 25, considering how much pearl barley stuff we have. But like I said, if you're going to make extra bait of something, there's some of them like pearl barley that you just don't mind making extra of. Okay, so there's 24.9. This unlocks sweet dough and wheat grains. Wheat grains, probably not something we're going to be crafting any of. But sweet dough we can make some of, but I don't mind getting some extra points before we start making sweet dough. Getting some extra points by making a few extra pearl barley here. $25.6. Alright, the rough have started, at least on the red worm. But the roach have probably still been active. This is a gibble, actually. Oh, and we got a point. That's where, like, at night, really big crucian gibble spots can also be really good. Kind of like Breamar. Let's dig. Eat. 26.1. Love to see that dig come through for us. Is that a quick rough? So remember, common roach orders, rough orders, even here at Belaya, they are easy to do when you've got active spots like this. Alright, those roach are just going to nibble forever. Let's make some more pearl barley. Oh yeah, 26.3. Alright, there's 26.7. We're definitely not getting points that often for pearl barley, but we still have a good bit left. I don't think pearl barley is used in any other recipes, so I don't think there's any like harm in just burning through these. We occasionally get points and we're happy with it. 27. 27.2, still have 13 left. Let's check our rough. We've probably got rough roach on. And we probably ought to go ahead and switch the roach to rough setups. It is after 11. Alright, let's try it. Ooh. Nice one. We'll use that, leave that rough roach ground bait on one rod just a little longer. We can dig. Man, love to see those points. Oh, we just had a fish get away? Fish just got away off of our... one of these rods. Must have been that one. Actually, it was that one, because there's no bait on it. Since we're digging red worm occasionally, I'll still keep red worm on one line. Oh, this is on worm. It's obviously not a rough. Nice crucian. I mean, sorry, gibble. 30.3%. Notice these big gibbles. Both times gave us points. Oh. Let's change this off now. Now that we've messed up that rough. Let's go ahead and take off the ground bait though, because it's pretty late now. We're pretty much just gonna see rough at this time. What's the, let's see, baits. What's the largest, I mean the smallest hook? 12? Okay. Decent rough. Roach. We don't have 12s, right? Which is frustrating. We probably should have 12s. Okay. $27.6. Love to see it. Yeah, we're not gonna have to make that much sweet though. Which I think sweet dough starts the baits that have like multiple ingredients, so definitely cheaper to be able to do this on pearl barley, even if we have to make quite a few more. But we're not getting points very much at this point, so now I would say you should be switched over to sweet dough. I'm just making them because we have them. Hey, 27.9. How many more do we have? 3? Maybe we hit 28? Is that asking too much? probably. Okay, cool. Okay. So that is really all we're going to be able to do on all of this stuff. Was it worth coming to Belaya? I mean, you know, I think it's fine. We made some silver. We did a cafe order. We got to check out a couple spots. 71 silver. I mean, that puts us back up over 2,100. We'll take that for sure. And, but most importantly, you know, we got to see a new place while leveling up things that we just want to continue to aggressively level up. So we are motivated now to want to go to a couple different places here. One, Oldburg, because that's where the cheap groceries are, and because we can now make bream ground bait. And two, we're motivated to go to, let's see, we need what, winding? Do we need more feed? What are we at with feed? With, let's see, 30%. To go to 40%, we need to make, yeah, feed and anise oil. So we do need more, lots more feed. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I was just going to go ahead and, since we can make bream ground bait, let's just make some. Just for fun. So we need pearl barley and anise oil. Pearl barley and anise oil. Makes 5, 10. I mean, we're gonna need to make at least that much. And then, what about additives? What do we need? Millet porridge and maggots, which we already have quite a few. But so this is where we would make bream ground bait. And you know, I mean, I don't know where this leveling experiment series thing was going to take us, but typically I would say you need to grind on so much bream to get points in bottom fishing, to get XP to level up, but most importantly to make silver at this point. That, I mean, you almost can't make enough bream ground bait. Other than you don't want to like needlessly spend too much silver, but I'm going to go ahead and make these full stacks because I just want to make the point that, okay, so that's 10 we've made. Now we still have a few maggots, a few millet porridge, but to level up our ground bait from here, other than making more bream ground bait, which we can, we would actually put feed as the base and then use anise oil until we hit 40%. So that's going to be the next step for that, which means we do need to go to winding. We're going to need feed forever. You know what I mean? Like to level up ground bait. Again, I don't know how long we're actually going to go in this series, but if this was your main account and at this point you're leveling your ground bait, you might as well go to winding and get as much feed as you're comfortable getting right now. So for now, just to keep working on things, next episode I will I'll go ahead and get 100 feed. Might as well, right? Get 100 feed. We will need a little bit more anise oil, I think. If I go to ground bait and if I put feed on there and anise oil. We can make 15 more. Is there any chance 15 gets us from 31, so 32? We probably need a few more, but we can wait and see how it goes. And then the other thing we'll need, and again, I might wait and see it. If we do end up at Old Berg, groceries are cheaper there. So for making the sweet dough, I might wait and see what that's looking like. Yes, we should do bleak, but no, we're not going to. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. We made it through another episode. We are making good progress. The main progress that I'm just trying to get it out of the way is getting harvesting baits up to what, 60% eventually. And then ground bait, the initial goal was 30%, but the more we get done on ground bait, when we do decide to go to copper again, if we end up making another copper trip, or when we do, we'll just have more ground bait flavors as an option. So it's worth continuing to press a little bit, but we're not feeling as, necessary now that we've got bream ground bait unlocked. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.